Welcome everybody to the Shackley OPA monthly call. OPA means Organic Products Associates. That was a Shackley group that was started by Mary and Gary Loomis. They were Shackley Lifetime Master Coordinators, and they started that way back in their business, wanting to give it a name that everybody in their extended group, because they had a huge organization, could be part of that name instead of the Loomis organization. For example, Organic Products Associates. And they built a huge successful business. And now it's run by their son, Rob Loomis. And there are many master coordinators in the Loomis organization. And each month, the different master coordinator takes a call like this. And they pick the subject, the speakers, etc. So tonight is our month, thanks to the Medorans who were gracious enough to switch with us, because last month we were traveling, so we switched months. Terrific. We appreciate that. Hello, Jane. So the Organic Products Associate is a terrific organization run by the Golden Rule, and it's just fabulous. The training, the expertise, the friendship, the community, the family. And tonight's call is going to sort of like um, hook up with last Thursday's company's business call. Many of you, if not all of you, saw that call. The company's doing that every third Thursday, I think, or something like that, or fourth, I don't know. Sorry about that. And they're tremendous calls. Last week was excellent. And what they've done, they have various speakers, but they don't go over a lot of the business stuff. So what we thought we'd do tonight, we have some speakers also to make it much more interesting. And we're also going to include some things about the Shackley business in a broad overview sort of way. We're not going to get bogged down on details tonight. Okay? We're going to start with a brief video, which I hope all of you may have seen it. If you haven't, it's on the Shackley site that you can get, but it's really terrific. So let's begin with that.
20, volume starts to shrink. By 30, muscle loss begins. By 50, nutrient absorption drops. By 80, health challenges rise. You have more control than you think. Genetics account for 20 to 30% of your health outcomes. The rest, yours to influence. There's a $6.3 trillion movement growing, sweeping across the globe, person to person, community to community. A movement where age is a metric, not a mandate. Your biological age doesn't have to match your chronological one. But how old you are shouldn't define how young you are and feel. We've spent over 70 years pushing the frontiers of wellness and longevity, investing over $500 million in research and development and 110 clinical studies to deliver measurable results with real people. We measure aging where it matters most, at the cellular level, supporting key biomarkers of longevity, from the inside out, outside in, and all around. Because we're not here to trick the clock. We're here to make the clock a thing of the past. So you're free to add more life to every one of your years. Free to look, feel, and live younger, longer. Free to live without limits. Shackley, live age-free.
Pretty awesome video, wouldn't you agree? Wow. In that short span, what a powerful message it does give.
Actually, I find it very exciting and rewarding and think that we are all a part of this. And we so appreciate you all that are a part of this because everything you do makes a difference for someone else's life. And just to tell you a little bit about Alan, my background, and how we became involved with Shackley. We've been in Shackley for 46 years. I don't feel like we should be 46 years old. And I do have to tell you that when we were thinking about getting started, it was because we have three daughters And they were little at the time, and we knew it was going to mean college educations and weddings. And we thought, where are we going to get all this money? We better start now to look for something to do on the side. Because Alan was full-time in the insurance business, and I owned and operated my own preschool. And everything we looked at, and maybe you found this as well, everything was high risk, high investment, took way too much time that we didn't have. So we put the idea on the back burner, wound up hearing about Shackley in a very unusual way. But when we did, the fellow came back from New Jersey to tell us more about it. And when he started to explain how the business worked, I thought this was so unbelievably good. However, I didn't see how I could be involved because I had Crohn's disease. And every time I tried to take any vitamins, they'd upset my intestines even more. And he assured me it was different because these products were natural. And if I could eat food, I'd be able to have these supplements. So I said, well, I'd really love to definitely do that. But the other part for the business, I was really concerned about because I was a very shy person, very uncomfortable talking to other people. And so I thought, I just don't know that I can do anything with that. And I certainly didn't see myself in sales whatsoever. But when he said, I'd really like you to train and teach, I thought, well, that I can do. That's my background, and that's something I enjoy. So we got started, and in 2 days, Alan had examined this comp plan well enough that he already knew that he wanted to be involved. So, and if you have a spouse or a friend or a partner or whomever, you might want to really encourage them to take a look at Shackley, even if they don't think they want to be involved. Because once they really understand and know, in fact, you may even decide you want them to see a copy of this program tonight. I hope you do. And so we started doing the business part-time basis, but we really put in a lot of hours. Anytime we weren't doing things with the children, which was still a lot, and we weren't doing our other occupations, we were doing Shackley to look for those people who also wanted to make a change in their lives.
Phrase we used back then was turn off the TV and turn up the PV.
So in Shackley terms, that simply is how you determine your volume when we say PV. So anyhow, very exciting, the things that have happened to us over the years. The other day, I started to write down a list of the blessings we've received from Shackley, and I went beyond an 8x10 sheet, had to go into the next sheet, and I'm sure I still have missed some of them. It's just been an extraordinary experience. We've made lifelong friends for this business, and know that the impact that we make is really the most important thing, I guess, for us. We're certainly at an age where we could have been retired, but we wouldn't want to because we like to still make that difference in other people's lives as long as we can do so. So if you like to travel and you like to have a good time and you like to help other people and feel the sense of reward and making a difference, we hope that all the people that you hear about tonight will help you to make a decision if you'd like to look into Shackley further. So our first speaker tonight is Linda Burkheiser. When we met her, was a nurse and was married to a wonderful, wonderful man who had become a quadriplegic in a terrible accident. And how they came forth in this business. I mean, they're such a fabulous story. So I'm going to let Linda tell what she'd like to share tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for asking me to speak. It's always an honor to tell my story. We were a very typical family. And as Hannah said, I was a case manager nurse. My husband, Rick, was a prison administrator, and he had a bright future ahead of him. But unfortunately, he had a backyard accident where he was thrown out of a tree, broke his neck, and our lives turned upside down. We had 4 kids. We always believed in nutrition, but we weren't really looking for anything. I went and met Hannah and Alan because I was having color analysis done and makeup because I thought I knew everything about nutrition. So I skipped that one. And Hannah said to me, I'll never forget it. She said, "Did you ever think of having your own business?" And I said to her, "No, but I think I might be willing to try anything because we really are getting pretty desperate. You know, we lost our income. We have 4 kids. We don't know if they're going to have a future, and we really wanted the best for our family." So we joined Shackley, and we were not 1-month stars like some people. We were not even 3-month stars, but we very consistently did our business. And I was very much into helping people. So I loved what I was learning. I learned so much and I grew so much through Shackley. And that's one of the biggest benefits that you'll get. The best benefit was my husband, who was expected to live 5 years, possibly 10, live 30 years because we Shackleyized him. We Shackleyized him. The doctors didn't know what we were doing, and they said, "We don't know what you're doing, but just keep doing it because it's working." And that was the best thing we could have done for him. And my health improved because I was really I was a wreck, trying to hold everything together. And we had some nice income that we actually invested a lot of our Shackley income so that we had it to help our kids and to help our family, which is really quite interesting because we really shouldn't have had any income at all. But Shackley has a way to show you. We've had lots of trips from Shackley. Again, mostly in the United States, but we were in Dallas, we were in New Orleans a couple times, Florida, California, Atlantis, San Francisco. And the nice thing is that we met people from all over the United States, which when you go to a convention, Shackley convention, I still recognize them and they still recognize me, which is beautiful. And I'll tell you, one of my early goals in Shackley, and this will make you laugh. We went to a workshop, and they said, write down in this book 3 goals or 4 goals that you have, and I would just go, oh my God, they're going to make me write goals again. So anyway, I wrote down a red van for Rick, and I wrote down that I wanted to complete. I was finishing my degree. I was an RN, and I went and finished my degree. And the other, what was the other thing? Oh, and I wanted to be able to give money away. I wanted to be a philanthropist. Which I'm still working on, but but it's so wonderful anyway. And close that book and don't look at it. So I closed that book and didn't look at it for a couple of years. And I opened the book, and it just so happened that Rick needed a new van, and the only color that was available was red. So he got his red van. I finished school, and I'm at the point in Shackley now where I actually can help other people financially also, which was one of my dreams. Um, there is lots of Shackley miracles, but I will mention a couple in our family. One is that I have a granddaughter who has a form of macular degeneration. It was called Best disease, and we found it when she was really young. We will be doing, she and I are going to do a video about it at some point. But the bottom line is that instead of being blind, she has total vision. She still has the disease, but it's completely inactive because of what we do nutritionally with her. And she just had a baby. And for the baby, she knew, we talked, and I said, you need to increase your vitamins because you could slip into it again. And she did, and her eyes are great. The baby's beautiful. And we also had a daughter-in-law who was told she had old eggs. She was not going to be able to get pregnant. So we put her on what she called her preggy vitamins. And she took them, and she had her first baby. And by the time she was pregnant with her second baby, they said, you're no longer high risk anymore. Your hormones are beautiful. So she had a beautiful second baby, and then it goes on. Lots of nurses, they couldn't get pregnant. I felt like a witch doctor after a while, just like put them on a Shackley program and they got pregnant. So, all of that really helped me a lot. Again, my biggest thing for me is to stay healthy. We now have 7 grandkids, and we have 2 great grandkids, and everybody is very aware in using Shackley, which I just love. But I think the best thing in Shackley was it gave us help during a time when we were ready to fall apart. So just remember what Hannah said to me was priceless. Did you ever think of having a business? And I just looked at her and said, no, but maybe, because no one ever asked me that before. And so I think, I think that's probably it. I tried to make it short and sweet. The biggest thing for me right now is that, I'm keeping my health. And I love the fact that, as I said, we can be this age. Like then when they told me I'm 79, but when they said you're entering your 80th year, and I went, oh, that sounds so much worse than 79. I'll just stay 79, but I don't feel 79. So that's the best thing for me. So that's my story. And
Now,
again, I'm really, 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 really working right now. I really want to work and offer this to other people because I know if no one had offered it to me, I don't know where I would be. And I'm in a good place.
terrific. Now, Linda did mention, she said they weren't 1 month wonders, but they took the magic PCE potion and drank it and ate it. And now today, and over the years, they've been one of the highest volume producers in our organization. And you might be wondering, what is the magic PCE potion? Does anybody want to tell them?
Persistent, consistent, something.
Effort.
Oh, ever.
Consistent effort.
I was
Great.
guessing. I was guessing because that's what we did. Yeah, thank you.
Linda, that was absolutely wonderful. I never tire of going back and remembering those days.
Mhm.
Our next best speaker is a personal trainer and a delightful personality and longtime consumer before she decided to build a business. So, Pauline, would you like to tell us what Shackley's meant for you?
Yes, thank you, Hannah. Thank you for having me speak tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with all of you to share my Shackley experience. I've been taking Shackley since I was 19 years old. I'm 63. It's been truly a game changer for me and for my business. Growing up, I struggled with reoccurring strep throat and bronchitis for many of years, which I was often prescribed codeine syrup to manage my symptoms. However, it seemed not to be effective, and my parents eventually stopped the treatment. It wasn't until my cousin introduced me to Shackley, the vitamin C and the multivitamin, those two supplements, that I started noticing a significant improvement in my health, which within 3 to 6 months, I didn't have bronchitis or strep throat that fall. And then 9 months to a year, I all my symptoms had disappeared and I felt amazing. I was so grateful that I was gifted Shackley and that it changed my health and changed my life. Because of the success I had with Shackley, I started sharing my story with my family and my friends, and I watched them get amazing results from their health issues too. After my third child, I decided that I wanted to go back to school and do something more in the medical field, but then I chose to become a personal trainer. At that time, I worked for a company for quite some time, and under a company, you can only do what they tell you you can do. So I decided during the pandemic, I decided to branch out on my own and start my own personal training business, which I did. And that gave me more freedom to pick and choose what I wanted to do, which then, with all the success I had with Shackley and my family and friends had with Shackley, it was no brainer to partner with Shackley with my clients, my personal training clients, who were looking for something. They were big in exercise, but they were not really big in nutrition and they were not big at all in supplements. So they would look at me and they would ask me, what I'm doing. So I would tell them that I was taking a supplement that I wanted them to try. So we would do samples, they would come over and we would share the protein. So I added the sports nutrition to my regimen and to my clients, and it became a huge game changer for my business, in addition to for my clients. A lot of my clients were in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I had a 104-year-old client who just passed away maybe like 2 years ago, who was on the Shackley protein for about 7 years. And it was amazing to see these people take this product, do so well, and then they shared it with the clients they were friends with, that shared it with their family, their friends, and it just snowballed and it just changed my business. So I've been very blessed. My blessings with Shackley are many, but the two that I picked were definitely, one is my health. I was very sick as a young girl, and I didn't, my parents and I didn't see me getting any better until Shackley came into my life and helped support what I needed in deficiency in vitamin C. So that, to me, that was gifted to me. My health was given back to me. So that was very important to me. I am now 63. I do not take any medication. I do not have any metabolic diseases. I have no disorders with that. In addition to my bone density is fantastic for my age, and I am very blessed to have Shackley in my life. And the other thing that's really important to me, like Linda said, Shackley is a powerhouse. in my heart, it is in my soul, and was gifted to me, and I am going to give this to everybody and anybody that I would like to share with, and I would like them to try it, and I know they will love it as I do. And I'm very happy to have this business. I'm very happy to be under Hannah and under Alan. They've been wonderful with me. So, and our team here. So it's been an absolute blessing. And that's my Shackley story.
Fantastic, Pauline. That's excellent. Now, she's a personal trainer or coach, you might say. And
Yes.
one of Shackley's strengths is she is very what? Coachable.
Yes.
Building a business, being very coachable, and build a terrific, terrific business. And it's just in the beginning growth stages and
Yes.
really exploding all the time, blooming and blossoming.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Pauline. This is just wonderful. I love it hearing all these wonderful stories, even when I've known them previously. But for all of you who haven't heard them before, I'm sure you're really enjoying them. And so what we're going to do now is a brief presentation. And just want to point out to you, when you see this says live age free, isn't it incredible when you hear Linda said her age, Pauline said her age, when you think about that, and we come from every background, as you can see in these pictures, every age group, every kind of diversity, because Shackley's welcoming to everyone. And one of the things that I love about Shackley is this wellness community that you see here, and that we have our individual wellness communities as we build our business as well.
So, going along with the Shackley story, people get involved for physical reasons, emotional reasons, social reasons, financial reasons. Financial, some people really need the money, right? And some people just want extra money. And for social, people love the idea of being part of a community. And that's what Shackley can offer them, a community of like-minded, health-oriented, positive thinking, wonderful people. And emotionally, well, the emotionality of people who are involved in Shackley is just super positive, I would say. And the physical, well, you just heard from a personal trainer, and we have other personal trainers, and we have people that aren't personal trainers who love the activity of being able to be very physical. So let's take a look at the Shackley compensation plan, and keep in mind, this is going to be a broad overview, not real specific, but if it trips your trigger, you can then talk to the person who invited you or your upline to get many more details. But what we're doing is we're making wellness our business, and you're doing it your way. But doing it your way, you also want to be coachable to get it started and get it growing, and then really having it explode. When you have a shackle business, you can sort of break it down into two broad categories: share and earn, share the products and earn money, and then building a team for long range stability and larger income. So let's investigate the idea of sharing and earning. Now, in order to earn any money in Shackley, you have to become an ambassador. And one of the benefits of becoming an ambassador is that whenever you purchase products, you'll be getting a 15% discount off of the retail price of the products. That's pretty nice, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But again, the ambassador gets some wonderful benefits. As you introduce new people, in the first 30 days of that person being introduced, you will earn 30% on their product purchases, whatever they earn in the first 30 days. And it's based on whatever price they're paying. Whatever price they pay, whether it's the member price or the retail price, you're going to earn 30% for the first 30 days. Isn't that terrific? After the 30 days, I'm going to drop down to the third category here. You'll enter into a scale, which I'll show you, where you can earn up to 40%. But all the time that you're growing, not just in your first month, but the first and all months beyond, every time you introduce at least 3 people who've purchased a total of $500, one person could do 300 and the other two could do 100 each. That's fine. 3 people purchasing a total of $500. In addition to the income you would earn from those purchases, you get an extra $75, as they call it, Star Club bonus. Isn't that terrific? And then beyond that first month, 10 to 40%. Let's take a look and see how that works. But by the way, we do want to mention that during December, there are some fantastic bonuses that you can earn. The Star Club Boost bonus, where you can earn an extra $50 instead of the 75, and the Star Club Match bonus, where you can earn up to a $75 match on your new ambassadors. To get more information about this, you go to the Shackley events page or speak to your upline or the person who's introducing you.
So in other words, your new ambassador can get the Star Club, get those bonuses. But in this month, if your downline, if the person you are training makes that Star Club, you're going to get the bonus as well. That's what we mean by match. So obviously, there's a lot of additional income available this month. So if you know people want to get started, this is a great time to do it.
Pretty sweet, right? Say yes if you agree.
Yes.
Yes.
The muted.
Okay. So the 10 to 40%, every time they shop, you'll earn up to 40%. And it's based on this scale. This is a monthly scale. So let's say you have 5 people that you have sponsored totally, and those 5 people in the month, let's say January, December, whatever it is, in the month purchased at least 1,000 total, you would earn a 20% bonus or $200. Now, a good goal as a beginning would try to be in the 5,000 category, having at least 15 people sponsored, and that is a 30% bonus. Pretty nice, isn't it? 30% of
$1,500.
5,000, $1,500. Now, for your long range goal, isn't this sweet? $10,000 volume in a month, and we have several people in our organization. And this is your consumers, who are buying products, whatever price they're paying, total of $10,000, and you have at least 30 of them purchasing, you earn 40%. Wow. I mean, that's $4,000. Very, very sweet. Wouldn't you agree? So you begin with a $150 or more order where you become a member. And a member is someone who will get 15% off of everything they purchase. They can qualify for free shipping on $150 orders or the $8.99 flat rate, and they can earn loyalty rewards. Now, this is for a member. Now, to become an ambassador, let's take a look because that's when you want to start building a team. So let's hear about that.
And what's exciting about building a team? Like a lot of the people on the call tonight are part of our team. And I think it's just so exciting to know that we are all benefiting one another, helping one another, lifting each other up. And while we're all doing that, we're building this organization that creates much more stability, of course, than just having a consumer base. But also what it means is you're multiplying your efforts. And we're going to be showing you how that works for you. So as an ambassador, all the people that you have sponsored
As
and the
ambassadors.
what else?
As ambassadors.
Yeah, as ambassadors, every time they're purchasing during that month, you're earning 8% on each one of those people. And this, of course, accumulates with all these other bonuses we've been talking about. So many ways to earn. Okay, next.
On their persons that they sponsor, you'll also earn 8% on their organization.
Right. And then you're now a director, and you can become a director at 2,000 volume, but also if you're at, say, 3,000, which is a good stable place to begin, then you will be earning 16% on all of their purchases.
This is as a
As a
director,
director.
even if you're a 2,000 volume
Right.
director or a 10,000 volume director.
And so in addition to that 16%, on all the people that they bring up, you're now earning 16% on your ambassadors and their ambassadors, but also you will start earning 8% on the people that they introduce. And that goes down many, many levels. So can you imagine all these different percentages when you add them up, what it will spell for your overall income? Really exciting. And as a leader, you'll find even more rewards. Like for instance, They have quarterly incentives with some of the coolest, neatest gifts you can imagine. We've had everything from Apple Watches to special mixer machines, everything. It's just all kinds of goodies for you available, and they're really achievable. Also, if you like to travel, anybody else like to travel besides us? How about when somebody else pays for it? Better yet, right? Well, Shackley has incentive trips yearly that are very attainable for anybody who's going to do that PCE Alan talked about, that persistent, consistent effort. And then, of course, the availability not only for the overall income, but the additional bonuses you can get through Star Club.
So whether you're sharing and earning or building a team, you can have a substantial income source for you.
Hey, so we'll come to a little more detail in just a minute, but we want to hear from some of these other wonderful people. So Barb Jansen, would you like to share your story? I think some people got on early. They already heard that you are now in the Carolinas instead of Michigan. So it's no
Yes.
longer fighting that snow. Okay, Barb.
Yes, definitely. So yes, I was in Michigan and for many years. And I got started when my kids were really struggling with their health and having issues with getting prescriptions from the doctors. They didn't know what was going on with them. And it just, kept snowballing, so to speak. And then my mom introduced us to the wonderful world of Shackley products. And over the time, my family experienced some amazing results. My kids are now 39 and 37, and they do not experience any of the issues that they had when we started using the Shackley products, and they still use the products. And of course, we looked at the nutrition as well as the cleaning products. And then the business opportunity was shared with me about 9 months after I started using the products. And I was already having other families asking me what we were doing to help our family's health. So 35 years ago, I started my business to help other families find a way to find their better health. And then from a family financial standpoint, I didn't really have to work. I really wanted to just find something that was my own thing. And I did plan on going back to work, but I really enjoyed helping other people and I enjoyed sharing the products before I even started the business with others. So I'm really not going to get into too much detail about our personal stuff or our health stuff. But I thought I'd just share with you the many ways that Shackley has blessed me and blessed our family. And I probably could go on and on and on. So I'll just get started. So I had time to be available for all of my kids' activities. And when I did show up for the kids' activities, all of the kids whose parents couldn't be there were just all over me. They just loved it that I could be there. And that really touched my heart and was very special to me. And then I could earn some extra money that I donated to many different causes that I found special. If somebody needed something, I could provide it for them with just for the fun of it, just to help them. If I wanted to give my kids $100 bill, which I did quite often, they thought that was pretty cool. You can't always do that when you're the only one making money, or you have to make money for your family. So also seeing other families on their health journeys and finding success for themselves, the personal development part of it. I like some of the others at the beginning of the call talking about being very shy and introverted. That was basically me when I started, or before I got involved in Shackley. The community that I have found with my consumers who were either friends and then became consumers, or became consumers and then became my friends. And those have been lifelong relationships. And then, of course, there's the wonderful Shackley family. Everybody that's here, as well as organizations that I was involved with up in Michigan. And then my purpose of being able to do good and help others that are looking for answers, because that's how I started out. I was really looking for answers. So if I can be that someone's person, I that is feels really good to me. I love being the first person that my consumers share exciting news with. Always find out who's having a baby before anybody else does, and they just share all those things with me. And it just touches my heart. So the ability to have flexibility. I came from Michigan and moved to South Carolina 7 years, almost 8 years ago. So now I have consumers and family here through Shackley, as well as in Michigan. And then it allows me to spend, or my husband and I spend 3 months in Florida every year, which is really fabulous because that's another way for me to catch up with my or my Michigan family. So also, all the many tax benefits that I have been able to take advantage of that has helped our family finances. One thing is this just started in the last few years where I can have a 401k for my Shackley business. And most usually a big corporation has to do that. So I've always been able to do an IRA and just a numerous number of tax benefits. And then I think probably the greatest blessing is that we just had our first grandson in May, and I can spend as much time as I want to watching him develop and grow and to be there for him, as well as for our daughter and her husband who live close by to us. And so my heart is just very full with this business. And so that's my story.
That's terrific, Barb. And isn't it great that among the wonderful benefits that you can enjoy from your Shackley business, being able to be a very philanthropic person because of that Shackley income? Isn't that awesome? Wow. Super, Barb.
Thank you.
Brought up so many great points, and I think we all feel that way, that we have countless blessings thanks to this business. So we are going to have one more speaker tonight, and then we'll just have a little call to action. So let's first have Ashley DeAngelis, who just happens to be our daughter. And she knew from the time she was a little girl what she wanted to do.
Karen.
I sure did. And I'm so grateful to my parents for starting a Shackley business that many years ago and exposing me to such an incredible company and an incredible culture. And I just knew from that time when I was very little that this is what I always wanted to do. I mean, I was a little girl growing up with my parents home, working out of the house, being able to have them be the parents that took us to all our activities, being at all of our events. And I loved that. I loved that everybody knew that they could count on my family if they needed anything. And if I needed something during the day, or I wanted to, or if we got a ride to school in the morning or picked up from school, my parents were able to do that. And I knew that's what I wanted to be able to do for my family. And, there's so many other side benefits of watching your parents have their own business. I love the business aspect of getting to learn how to put together mailings or do different kinds of business things in the office. I would get to work in there, and I would get paid for that for helping, which became a really great tax deduction, by the way. Being able to put me to work. And so I was able to see that. I was able to learn about goal setting and really putting together a goal board and visualizing and dreaming and getting to see my parents achieve those goals and dreams. And if they didn't, being able to talk through that and what it meant to go for that goal again and to reach for it. And those were some really important lessons that I have taken with me my entire life and passed on to my children as well. And being able to have that ability to really work with people. I mean, we had landlines back then, so I was answering the phone and being able to learn how to take messages and, to relate that into today's, maybe we have our cell phones and our voicemails, but kids being able to learn to interact with people and have those adult conversations as a little kid, learning how to communicate. And I just think there's so many great skills that you get to learn because you get to be around people that are like-minded, positive, into health and making a difference and into wellness. And what a great way to be able to pass that on. And so, as I saw all these things, I also saw them help people feel better, make a difference in people's health, but also help people earn an income. And so, what better way to be able to do that and still be able to be a part of my kids' life as they've been growing up. And, just all the side benefits that we've already talked about and getting to travel the world. I knew that I wanted to be able to travel with my family and be able to have those tax benefits and also earn an income. And then when I want to earn a little bit extra, I'm like, okay, what can I do to earn that or to reach for incentives and get to see my kids cheering me on as I'm going for incentives or as I'm doing events and mom, how'd that go? And wanting to be a part of that. Such a great feeling. And I'm just going to end with one of the most amazing things about Shackley as a corporation, and that is our culture and our community. And that is really about all these people you see on here being part of this positive, uplifting community. We don't compete against each other. We cheer each other on. And I just think that Dr. Shackley's philosophy of living by the golden rule and doing to unto others as you want to do as you want unto you, so powerful. And I've really seen that throughout the Shackley organization and through all these years. And I just am grateful that I get to continue that, teaching my kids and helping others to join such an amazing community. So I hope you'll join us too.
Thank you, Ashley. Terrific. Now, one of the benefits that this is going to be an example of, who do you think is going to take over our business when we check out? Another side benefit of the Shackley business. Isn't that terrific?
Oh, golly. Yes, we don't like to think about that. Okay, so I lied. We have one more speaker who's a great has a great personality, and I think you're going to just enjoy getting to hear her tremendously.
Uh-oh.
She had shared hers with me before, so I almost felt like I'd already heard her. Sorry about that.
I
Yeah,
have to.
her
I was
chat.
get, I thought I was getting away with it. Because when number five came up, I thought, oh, four's been missed. We're good. Oh, I Jim and I have been with Shackley for 40 years. Well, it'll be 40 years January. Actually, this time 40 years ago, he was in the hospital. And with he had been there for 3 weeks, including over Thanksgiving. And that's where our Shackley saga begins. We were so blessed. When I hear everybody saying about blessings, I mean, that's like the most common thing I hear about Shackley. We were so blessed that he was so ill. Doctors had given up medically with him. His only out was now going to be surgery. And I was an RN and I was still looking medically. I was still looking for a medical answer out there. And a friend that we had introduced us to Shackley, who had helped her mother with another issue. And when I saw nutrition actually work, that Shackley nutrients did what the medicines couldn't do, what doctors couldn't do. It just gave me a whole new another side to look at in health. And I just couldn't believe. So then when we first did Shackley, got into it, we told nobody. We absolutely told nobody we were doing this. And taking a supplements, nothing about, we weren't even thinking about a business. We just wanted health. And we were trying to build Jim up for surgery. That was what we thought would happen. And so we didn't tell anybody. And when he got the results that he got, we just couldn't shut up from telling people. Then we thought, aren't we smart? We've done this. So that was one of the biggest benefit, our biggest blessing. So then we had a kind of like I guess as an RN, I think we can help people. We can actually help people. When we talked about months ourselves, and Sue had come down, our upline had come down and showed us the business a couple times. Like I said, we could have cared less. We were just so this one time she comes in to show us some of the other products. And at that time, Jim and I had discussed about maybe looking at the business issue. And I mean, it was a funny story because we never saw those other products that day when we said about the business issue. And then it just happened so fast, we didn't even know how it happened to us. We just all of a sudden became directors. We get this bonus check from Shackley, and there was our next blessing. Our next blessing was I could stay home with my kids. And as many of you know, you were in the same boat. We had double prayers answered. First, we got Jim's health. Now I can be that at-home mom that everybody's talking about being that, and that was the most rewarding thing we got out of Shackley. And then about 30 years into Shackley, 30, I kind of got a little lazy. I mean, we had our ups and downs in Shackley, as everybody does, and we would have be directors and senior director and revert. And I mean, that stuff happens, but we weathered through it and stuck through it. But then I got lazy. We retired. Well, we were caregivers. That was one thing between all our parents and then grandkids helping out. And we both retired. Our lives changed. So we just didn't have, I just didn't have the drive anymore. I quit going on calls, team calls. We didn't go to conferences. Um, it just, I felt like I was retired from everything at that point. Then all of a sudden, it's like I didn't feel like I even knew half of what was going on in Shackley. And uh, it was like we decided we were going to go to the convention. Well, first we had this angel appear to us who lives up the street from us, who decided she wanted to join and look at the business. Quit pointing to yourself. And Julie had taken Shackley for years, and this time she really was seriously looking at the business, and timing is everything. And at the same time, we had a downline who's um, were handing their business over to their granddaughter. So we had lost her grandfather, and I just felt I have to do this for her. I have to start learning. So here I am back on calls. All of a sudden, Shackley's coming alive again for me, and my angel off the street, Julie, uh, doesn't let me rest. And we have made Shackley has become fun again. And on the way out, we had decided to go to the conference. This was the first conference had been to in what, 8, 10 years, something like that, and in Chicago. And on the way out, I really was having this serious thought, okay, God, what do you want from me? Why am I still alive? I mean, I'm done caregiving, all this. And I thought, there's a reason I'm still here. There's a reason. And I thought, helping other people. So what did better way to help other people than with Shackley? So that's how we got back into um, doing getting alive again in the business and having, like I said, so much fun again with our friends and building and having events and just life is good again. So we now have a purpose again. I think that's another reason. I was out of a purpose and now I have that purpose and we have our health and Jim just turned 80. Yay. And he should have been dead at 39. So we think we did a lot for She actually did a lot for us. So, any questions?
Fantastic, Karen. Now, here's an example. You all have iPhones, right? So the iPhone's sometimes running out of battery, getting plug it in and it gets reduced. Well, the hurt tax got plugged in and got rejuvenated, and now they're really enjoying things even more.
Yeah,
And beautifully.
yeah.
So
Our downline's making it a joy. They really are.
they are.
And our upline. Oh, don't want to say about them. Can't forget them. I'll be fired. No.
Probably by now realizing if you are new and haven't heard anything about Shackley before, or very little, or maybe you were using products but never really knew the stories behind the people that are building this company so that they can make a difference in the world. And, it sounds like trite almost to say that, but with Shackley, it's for real. And I think you probably picked that up from listening to these stories. Thank you for all of you that spoke tonight. You all did a great job. And the people that are here that are not involved yet, please feel free to give a call, or maybe the person that invited you will be the one to call you, but connect with them. Let them know what you're thinking, any other questions you have, because we didn't go into a lot of details tonight. But also, as you work with them, they can help you choose what's the best fit for you now. And also in terms of a health program as well. So whatever it is, just know that this is a great time to get started. Several people have reached the top rank that started in the month of December. And also remember that there are all kinds of specials this month. Half price to become an ambassador, only $25. And also the opportunity to have additional Star Club bonuses. And also, if you have somebody through you who reaches Star Club and gets a bonus, you will get one as well for that too. So all kinds of great things are happening. Shackley is growing like they haven't in many a year. It's just amazing what's happening. And it's all because Shackley really knew what they were doing way back when. They knew the science, the importance of the science. So our products measure up to the highest standards possibly available. And so do the way the company is run. That golden rule philosophy that Ashley mentioned truly is a deep part of who we are. And so we want to be able to communicate that to other people, and hope you decide to join us. And this recording is available if you want to share it with other people. So in fact, you just want to give that address.
opastuff.org. You find all the recordings and stuff there.
And we want to thank all of you. We know this is
Thanks
a
for being
crazy,
here.
busy month, and we're so appreciative of you being with us, and hope that you take away the good feelings that you've heard about tonight.
So a very wonderful holiday season to you all, and a very happy new year, and make 26 your best year ever.
Yay.
Fabulous.
And be
Yeah.
a part of
Happy
something
New
great
Year.
yourself.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Christmas,
You
happy
too.
Hanukkah, and happy New Year.